I think the world would be a much better place if everyone was like motorcycle people. And I'm not counting the overly aggressive and careless ones, or road rage riders, because I've honestly never met one. But I've seen videos of douchebag motorcycle riders, so yeah, I guess they do exist. They could probably need some more love and guidance in their life, but I would say 99.9% of all motorcycle riders, and at least 110% of adventure motorcycle riders, are just incredible, passionate, caring and helpful. The friendship and the kindness and the camaraderie amongst motorcycle riders is just on another level. For example, let me tell you a story about a surprise that happened to me a few days ago. I have, as you can see, a rather old motorcycle, a Cagiva 750 Elefant from 1990. The last Elefant adventure motorcycle from Cagiva was actually produced in 1998. That's almost 30 years ago. And the company ceased to exist in 2012. So it's safe to say that, yeah, you don't see many Cagivas on the roads these days. We have a few Facebook groups where we share tips and tricks. The group for the old type of Cagiva Elefants, as the one I have, it has only 400 members. And yeah, they are all over the world. Beside me, I know about 2 others here in Norway who have one of these. So yeah, pretty rare. And I must say, I was quite surprised when one day a message popped up on my phone. And after a short chat, I grabbed my camera and ran out the garage and recorded this. Elefant people. That is a book about my motorcycle. Well, not exactly about my motorcycle, but about the Cagiva Elefant series motorcycles. How it came to be and stories around it and their founders. I think I haven't read it, just heard about it, and I heard it's supposed to be a very interesting, exciting book to read, especially if you own a Cagiva, of course, and an Elefant. But yeah, and it happens to be that Bjarne, a Cagiva rider from Denmark, he actually has 2 copies of the book. I have none. You see where this goes? He is visiting me, or visiting Norway, and passing by here, and he said he can drop by my garage if he could find it, and maybe I could get hold of his second copy of the book. And I hope the Danes really had a nice trip. I know it was raining a lot yesterday, but today finally it's nice weather. But yeah, I hope they can find my little garage. I'm waiting eagerly to see if I can get hold of the book, and of course to visit my friends from Denmark. Okay, so what I tried to say here was that I was excited to get visitors from Denmark, and it didn't take long before they arrived. Bjarne could tell me he had been ridden 500 kilometers, mostly in rain the previous day. And yeah, that's typically how the weather changes here in Norway. And then it happens what normally happens when motorcyclists meet. Even though we have never met before, it's like meeting friends you haven't seen in a long time. We have so much to talk about. It's not just the weather we talk about, although that is pretty important for a motorcyclist. If you are one, you know what I'm talking about. But of course, we have to talk about our motorcycles, other people we know about or have met, trips and places we have been to. We all have different knowledge and experience to share, and there's always something new to learn and inspiration to gather. And all of this just because we share this one specific nerdy passion?
Or can it be something else? Something deeper? Naturally, I invited them in for some coffee and cookies in the garden. We ended up talking for hours about our bikes, our adventures, about the quirks of owning these old Italian machines, just everything. And of course, eventually, Bjarne reaches into his bag and pulls out the book Elefant People. A book so rare, I've barely seen pictures of it. I asked him if I should pay for it. That was the least thing I could do. But of course, he wanted nothing in return. He just wanted it to go to our elephant owner, and I think he was just happy I was happy. And right there, that's it. That's exactly what I was talking about at the start of this video. This is the perfect example of what I mean when I say motorcycle people are just different. This incredible passion, this kindness, that makes a guy from another country seek out a total stranger just to give him a gift. It really makes you think, if all the people had this mindset, the world would generally be a better place. Imagine a world where we spend our energy helping each other, sharing what we love, instead of fighting with each other. It was time for Bjarne on his Cagiva and Jesper on his Ducati to continue their journey. As I waved them goodbye, it struck me how this shared passion for motorcycles brings us together and creates new friendship. And that, in turn, made me think of Thomas. We also met because of our motorcycle passion. We have met several times, but we still haven't found time for the big trip we have planned for. This is me and my vintage motorcycle. And this is Thomas and his brand new motorcycle. We have planned to go on a road trip for quite some time. Thomas is starting to lose his patience and wonder if the trip is ever gonna happen. The problem has been my motorcycle. Even though I've made some huge improvements, I still have some tasks I need to do before the bike is ready for an adventure trip.
I don't think the trip with Thomas is going to happen this year. Probably next year. He's too busy, I'm too busy. So I got some buddies here locally to take me on a test trip. Some hours just driving around. Been reading a bit about in the Elefant book, Elefant People. So yeah, got some motivation now to get out on the road. So finally, it's fall time, but it's a beautiful day, nice weather here in the northern western part of Norway. So yeah, test trip for almost the first time this year.
Var det okay? No, send my lane.
The third guy. We haven't managed to locate him yet, so let's see if we can find him on the road. Bit of a different style on this one. Very cool, very cool. Ok, sånn GPS-greier.
Ja, så får du veldig sånn tøff animasjon av turen etterpå.
Okay. First and probably the last trip of the year.
And yeah, There you can see Ivar Andreas, he's the third one who is supposed to join me and Arild. So someone has obviously not read the instructions for the trip.
Tror du han Ivar Andreas vi møtte I tunnelen?
Or could it be just me being a bit stressed on my first trip? We didn't really know what to do at this moment. It was pretty dark in the tunnel. I couldn't really say for sure who I met down there. Bit of a confusion, but here he is. So this stupid guy was driving to me, and we were driving to him to meet him. So yeah. But the gang is here. The trip is ready to continue.
Seems to be a problem with the last driver. I think maybe I'll turn around. Det så du slakket av, ja. Han bare der var ut.
Du vet du, plutselig så begynte den
Ja.
Helvete, er det som vi snakket om akkurat med vatten?
Ja.
Men også ser jeg nå at kanskje det er reservetank, for at nå jeg ser noe bånd, så kanskje det er tomt.
Ja, det tomt.
Eller jeg ser noe bensin her da, men det kan jo være at det er det som jeg gjør det likevel.
Problem solved. It was easy fix, just switching over to a reserve tank. Probably a bit slow, the fuel system, so it took 10 minutes for the carburetors to fill up. So we're gonna try to fill it up on the gas station and see if we can continue the trip. 10 minutes, first problem. Let's see if I can catch up.
I guess maybe perhaps the planning could have been a bit better, but then again, when the three of us go on trip, we don't like to plan too much, because whatever happens, happens, and whatever's gonna happen, we can solve it. It was actually some kind of event happening on this gas station, and we would probably have missed it if it wasn't for our first problem. Yeah, because it will not be the last one. The ride didn't go for long before the first ferry trip, which is just inevitable here where we live.
Things goes much better now after we put fuel into the tank. That's a very smart trick. So now we're arrived on the other side of the fjord from Offernes, Sølsnes. It's the name of the ferry here. And it's a ride to Elefant, that's the next. Most important to
take picture of the bikes. The Elefant has behaved very well on the trip. I've been told I should speak Norwegian. Men vi kan snakke norsk. It's still pretty weird for my friends that I'm walking around talking English to you, and I think they never get used to it. We have been friends since we were kids, and our motorcycle adventure started with mopeds back in the 1980s. It's probably a stretch to say that it's the motorcycle passion that has kept us together all these years, but maybe a part of it. To have common interest, to have a reason to meet and spend time together. So, again, motorcycle people, and not just Elefant people, but all motorcycle people. They are just the best. And since I am one of them, I know I'm basically just bragging about myself, and that was absolutely not the point with this. It's just that it is what it is, and it is the facts, and I'm just telling it as it is. Tiny small hiccup with the Cagiva. The handlebar bolts had actually come loose, these four. So yeah, I had an Allen key with me so I could tighten this. I haven't used Loctite on this because I actually use stainless steel bolts into aluminium, so I thought that would seize good enough, but probably have to use Loctite on this as well. Yeah, otherwise the Cagiva has performed exceptionally well, and I have to say it's a dream to drive it. And I got a tiny piece, 2.5 kilometers back and forth on gravel road as well, and the tires performed well. Yep, and now it's time to grab something to eat. And one delicious cheeseburger later, we were ready to hit the road again. And this time, Ariel and me, we decided to swap bikes to test if they were very different to ride, and sure they were. It was completely a different experience. The Honda is so much more nimble, small, easy to maneuver compared to the Cagiva that might feel like a beast in comparison. We both agreed upon the fact that the bikes were very different, and the best bike is your own bike, the bike you are familiar with and the bike you can use. At least I was very happy to get back on my Elefant. It's where I belong. The trip was coming to an end. It was time to be heading home. The trip is done. We're parting ways now. Thank you for the trip, guys.
Yes.
Yes.
Very good trip.